So the Mini Amigo is actually a kind of fun story. And it's one of the things that got me to where I am today, which should have never happened. So,
but like what I hear, right, is you had an idea and then you ran with it through completion, like through all the bullshit.
Oh,
and so while you're saying what got me here today, while it never should have happened, I believe that what you figured out how to sell, you just would have found it. If this wasn't it, you'd have still found it.
Yeah.
Like you have too much resilience to continue to push.
Yeah.
For at some point, if you would have run into the finality of like, this isn't
ask
working.
any of my ex-girlfriends. I'm persistent.
Good. Yeah, I think, it would have been great.
But no, so the Mini Amigo was actually, I made it for Rob Gronkowski, believe it or not. But it's a strange story. When I was trying to sell the Ab Amigo, I tried to sell it to a company called Gronk Fitness. Gronk Fitness is Gronk's family started selling fitness equipment, and I was trying to sell them the Ab Amigo, and I sent it to, got in touch with his brother Dan Gronkowski. And
a whole gang of them.
Yeah, there's like five.
I'm dealing with Chris currently because they run the ice shaker.
Chris is great.
Yeah,
I love the cup, but nonetheless, so I'm trying to sell these Ab Amigos to him, and I get an email that says, "Thank you for your interest. We're not looking to take on any new products at this time." So I went rats.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I'm moving from Boston to Miami, and I get on I missed my flight. I missed 2 or 3 other flights. I'm on standby, and I'm sitting there at this airport.
Wait, why did you miss the first flight?
I am really bad at missing flights.
Oh shit, this is like a thing.
This is a thing, man. Ask anybody that knows me.
I've never missed a flight.
I got to be on one tomorrow. Just remind me.
If I missed a flight, I wouldn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to get through like the initial checkout because I had never flown by myself.
Oh, that's right. I forget. Like I take full. I guess I just space on it now at like the frequency I've traveled.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, so not only with the outside sales job that I had starting in 2008 through my career in the Highland Games, like I flew 40 times a year for
really
15 years. Like it was no big deal for me to check into a flight while I was on a flight.
Did you have to travel or did you get to travel?
Toward the end was get to travel. Now it's get to travel.
Yeah.
But there was a stretch there that I had to travel.
I don't mind flying, and I'll tell you why. Because that after that 4th flight that I had missed that day, I upgraded to a first class ticket.
Attaboy.
And I got on that plane.
Yep.
And who sits right next to me? Rob Gronkowski.
Get the fuck out of here.
Rob Gronkowski. I had no idea who he was. It was this big, he was this giant dude in this blue sweater with it was like, I think he was wearing a Falcons hat. And
fucking
hell. I was like, man, this guy's an athlete. I just don't know who, And I was living in New England at the time, which is even more embarrassing.
Damn it.
So
you basically have Jesus next to you, other than Tom Brady. Like, there's not a better option.
But I'm sitting there, and this he's right in front of me, and he's got this guy with him, and I'm sitting there, and I see this girl walking by, and she's like, "Mommy, he's right there. He's right there." I'm like, okay, I know he's someone now.
Listen.
So I got up, I went to the restroom, and I come back, and I looked at him. I was like, that's it. I know who this guy is, because like a week or two before it was the Super Bowl, and his house had just been broken into, and I saw his face on the news going around all of New England. And I was like, that's Rob Gronkowski. And I was like,
you're the guy I was trying to reach.
What are the odds?
That's a weird universe putting you in that alignment, right? Like you don't miss those 3 flights.
But think all these things that are adding up, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm still trying to work up the courage. I sit there for a 2.5 hour long flight, thinking, Dylan, are you going to say something?
TikTok, motherfucker.
Are you going to say something? And I finally said, you know what? If you don't do this, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life.
100%.
And so I worked up.
Because what's the worst? He says no. Who gives a shit?
Absolutely. And so I got up, and I told everybody like I was going to miss a flight just so I can get in front to have the opportunity to talk to him. And the flight lands, and I stand up, and I hand him my business card and said, "How's Gronk Fitness doing?" He said, "No one's ever asked me that." No,
that's a valid point.
I said, to be fair, I don't know a whole lot about football. He said, but I was talking to your brother Dan a couple weeks ago, and I'd really like to make you a custom Ab Amigo. He said, cool. What's an Ab Amigo? didn't expect him to ask me a question, you know, but
Right.
I said, turn over the card, you know, and there was our picture of Crunch, which was our, it's actually a snow Yeti.
Okay.
His name's Crunch.
All right. That's your mascot.
That's our mascot.
I gotcha.
And he was doing a sit up under the door with an Abamigo. It's like, cool, man. I like it. Reach out to my brother Dan again. So I was like, all right. He asked me some
Man, what a weird email. Hey, I ran into Rob on a flight. Like, you sound full of shit.
That was the email. I swear to God. So he asked me some directions. I gave him some bad directions. I felt bad about that. But nonetheless, I got into my lift, and this is like 12 o'clock at night because it was a late flight.
He's a fucking millionaire. He figured out he's not driving himself.
He had a couple little Svedkas on his his pull-out tray, but nonetheless, I get in my cab and I fire off that email. It's like, hey, Dan, I know this might sound weird, but I sat next to your brother Rob on a plane, showed him the Abamigo. He told me to reach out again. I'd like the opportunity to send you one. If you don't like it, don't call me back. Did we just go? Oh, okay. But so nonetheless, he sends me an email like 2 days later. He says, Dylan, your story checks out. Send it to us.
Yes.
I send it off to him, and then he gives me a phone call like 2 or 3 days later. He's like, hey, let's do this. So I was like, all right.
Fucking way, man.
I gave him the exclusivity on our Amazon for those products. So if you go onto their Amazon page, there's pictures of Rob Gronkowski doing sit-ups with the Abamigo.
How fucking cool, dude.
Just completely fell into this, you know.
What a fucking
cool
moment.
They're really cool guys. They're running a really cool company with what they're doing.